So one, I want to say thank you. I have a lot of gratitude for you, know that. But outside of my personal relationship and kind of connection to you, you've been a key leader in Lancaster for a long time. And often even when I started my role at CAP, I was like, I have to talk to Susan, right? Because there are a few folks in this community who kind of hold all the pieces of the web together and can help connect the dots in ways that sometimes, as you're coming in new to a role, you don't have. Or just need context.
Right.
For decision making, what happened here, what happened there. So I just want to say thanks for the time and for your investment. I think we're going to start with a question around if someone asks why organizations like CAP are still essential today, what would you tell them?
I'd say, do we still have poverty?
Mm-hmm.
Because CAP was formed to really start to approach, analyze, evaluate, and serve people who were experiencing poverty. And we've made a lot of progress in a lot of areas, and we've come closer in a lot of areas. But we have not come closer in the area of poverty.
Yeah.
And what really I have to grapple with is, in fact, we have more children in poverty today than we did 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So CAP is ever more important because of the number of people who are experiencing poverty.
What are you surprised by? That that's a true statement, that poverty still exists and that it's so needed for an organization like that.
What surprises me the most is the degree to which it's grown. And we haven't really found solutions on the edges, maybe, but no solutions have really emerged.
Yeah, and I think some don't even feel maybe like systems level change.
Right.
To some of the conditions, yeah.
And to some degree, I fear that we often brutalize the poor in ways that are inappropriate and not understood. That it's someone's fault. Not true. I mean, if I had the courage to live with the issues that many families face in terms of the amount of resources they have available and the things they're juggling, it takes a great deal to be able to figure out the issues that they face and solve them.
And I mean, a level of grit.
Yeah.
There's a resilience there that I think we underestimate in terms of what it takes to get up every day, knowing that like the next day isn't magical. Right. There's no perfect solution to the thing. You're just trying to get through it. And you don't really know what's going to get thrown your way that might derail any progress you've made. So you've spent a lot of time in Lancaster doing lots of great things. You've dedicated a career to helping neighbors thrive. So what has that work taught you about the power of community?
So I'm a believer that we could probably solve most problems that we face here if we focus. And if we bring the necessary resources. Now, I'm not sure I can solve the problem of poverty, but we could make some progress, or we could make more progress if we could focus and bring resources. And I think the whole concept of collaboration, it can't be just health and human service agencies.
Right.
It can't be just public safety. It can't be just government. It has to be businesses, faith community. It has to be a much more broad-based and inclusive body of organizations looking at the issue.
What do you think is getting in our way of doing that as a community?
I think we're having trouble getting all the different facets together. I think the only analogy I can think of is, I think we set the table, but we forget that there should be 3 or 4 more places set.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think we also sometimes forget to include people who have been in poverty.
Yeah.
Because they have a stake in it.
Yeah,
and
they have a lived experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that we're trying to pay more attention to even at CAP is to ensure that we have like that customer participant voice.
Yes.
Even for someone like me or other folks at CAP who have lived experience, when you move away from that experience, I never want to, what's the right word? I never want to create a narrative that is not well informed, right? And if we don't continue to engage participant reflection and voice, we're going to miss that.
Yep.
And I think sometimes we think we have like a perfect program and it's perfect and we're going to roll this out and it's not what the community needs or wants.
Right.
And that's kind of the gap on our end. Talk to me a little bit about, you know, your leadership work in the community, especially, I mean, you were at the YW, you're at the United Way, and then you serve on lots of boards and kind of advisory council in the community. What is what you remember about CAP that was maybe, do you think it's important for us to know about CAP's work and role in the community?
I think people forget how new CAP is. I mean,
Yeah,
60 years is a long time.
Right.
But the Community Foundation and the United Way just celebrated 100.
Right.
And there would be other organizations that 120 or more. I think that I think sometimes we forget how new the focus. It really we can thank President Johnson. And really the programs he brought to bear. I'm going to use the example of, I think Head Start was revolutionary. First of all, in getting results, but secondly, in teaching us about the other services that kids needed. That you start to the child care providers compared. Well, Head Start's got all the toys.
Yeah,
they get all the stuff.
Yeah,
but it started to make them realize they needed to provide more stuff to families.
Yeah.
And I think that there have been a lot of areas where CAP took the first step and was fortunately the intellectual leader of what was really needed for families.
Yeah.
And I don't think other organizations, it's taken a long time for other organizations to really start looking at the fiscal strength of families.
Yeah.
Which I think is a challenge to them. But just as they look at their behavioral health or their physical health, they need to look at the physical health of the family.
Yeah.
And that's what one of the things VITA did.
Oh yeah, VITA's great partner program.
Yeah.
And one that I think, we think about what are the interventions that really help create the conditions that change a person's purse and pocketbook and wallet and how they support their family. VITA was a big one for the community. Yeah. It's been helpful for me because I'm getting to talk with people and do some reflecting, and I learn little nuggets that I never knew along the way. Is there something that you think I should know about CAP that is a little nugget of like, hey, did you know?
So when I served on the board of CAP, I may have represented the YWCA. So I'm thinking back. It may have been before the United Way. I really can't recall which one. But we represented organizations. We didn't represent ourselves.
Oh, interesting.
Which I think as a board meant that, we were a conglomerate of agencies or organizations, not necessarily of people.
There's something about, there's a way in which we still organize our board that's required as tripartite.
Yes, right.
But that is a different nuance. It helps us to really make sure we have representation from sector.
Correct.
In a different way. It's good
to
know.
Make sure you have leaders.
Yeah. And decision-making leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you think about the thousands of families whose lives have maybe intersected with both United Way and CAP, what legacy do you hope they get to carry forward?
I hope they feel that there's been progress. I know the Chamber has the goal of prosperity. I have a goal of progress. To me, we really need to make sure that what we're doing is changing things for the better.
Yeah.
And not just sort of holding on or keeping the dike from flooding.
Yeah.
But instead that we're making progress.
All right. So one of the things I think that you have great experience in is that you've ran multiple organizations, especially at the United Way. You've had such a robust volunteer component of that work. So what message would you share with staff, volunteers, donors who helped build CAP over the last 6 decades?
I'd say they have not been thanked enough. they knew why they were there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure that we've really thanked them enough for their efforts. And I think in particular, I'd say that to the staff.
Yeah.
It's a challenging role. It's a one where often they're not thanked internally
Mm-hmm.
out of necessity because there's so much to do.
Yeah, it's much bad.
But I think that both volunteers and staff are not really acknowledged for the leaders that they are and acknowledged for the effort that they're putting into an area that many people might not be able to handle.
Yeah. I also think about that. I appreciate the reflection about gratitude and thanks because, we have some staff who have been with us decades.
Yep.
We have someone on our team right now, I think 44 years.
Who's that?
Gail. She's in our accounts payable
Oh,
department.
wow.
She started working in CAP when she was 19.
And that has been a tradition at CAP. I mean,
yeah, there's a reputation of a lot of long-term employees. Yeah. And we've got some Head Start people who've been with us 30 plus years.
Yep.
We have our utility director who is celebrating like 30 plus years this year and retiring. So I do think there's a legacy in that work. And I think what I've experienced most in my role is that there is like 1 degree of separation from everybody and some sort of CAP affiliation. So whether it's like my grandmama used to work in the kitchen at CAP, or I was a Head Start kiddo, or I remember when you were on Rockland Street and I used to live across the street.
And my mom was on the advisory, the Head Start advisory.
Policy council,
Policy council.
Yeah. So that's been one of the coolest, I think, things is that there are deeply rooted connections to CAP, whether it's as a participant in a family, whether it's the grassroots element of who we were coming up through the 60s and 70s and 80s and people having employment opportunities through CAP's expansion. What I understand is like, in the 60s, it's a small group. It was not a big team.
What year was it?
66 it was established, and then I think we moved to the 601 South Queen Street location in 2003, and we had about 200 staff then. So it had grown, but it took a while for the ramp up. A lot of those staff were Head Start staff.
Right.
And they had a real vision for expanding Head Start to the entire county.
Oh, they did.
And they did it.
Yeah. I mean, that was
revolutionary.
Yeah. It really was.
Yeah. I think WIC and Head Start were those contracts where I think we had legacy leadership leading CAP at that time, but that trifecta was really smart about contract acquisition and multi-year agreements to leverage resources for Lancaster County.
Right.
And today we still benefit from that.
Right. How many children are served by Head Start today?
About 800. Yeah. And it's hard. It's been an interesting time because birth rates are low.
Oh, yeah.
Across, so we're paying attention to a lot of things. But Head Start is, to your point, it's one of those programs that does a lot for kids, but it also does so much for the adults.
Yes.
It is really, it has, people don't understand that is 2Gen before 2Gen was a thing. They were always focusing on the whole family. Yeah. All right. So we need to thank our volunteers.
And our staff.
And our staff. So as CAP celebrates 60 years, what do you hope the next generation of leaders carry forward?
Well, I'm going to also repeat myself on this one, but please protect our children.
Mm.
I really have a fear that we're walking away from kids these days.
Mm.
I think it's one part the noise at the national level. There's only so much. There are only so many pages in a newspaper. There are only so many minutes on a TV broadcast. We're talking about democracy. It's important to talk about democracy. But every minute we talk about democracy, we're not talking about the way in which our children are failing. Mm. And we're not meeting their needs.
Yeah.
And so I would hope that the focus on children could be really connected. And although we're having fewer of them, that should make it easier.
Right, there should be more focus.
More focus.
It's interesting though, so when you think about President Johnson and the work that he did with Sergeant Shriver, the story that I understand through orientation to community action is that Shriver spent months traveling the U.S., meeting with local community leaders, mayors, community organizers, all kinds of neighbors. And when he went back to D.C., what he said was that children are the most impacted by poverty. And generational poverty was really the most dangerous. So the fact that your, you know, advice to the next generation is like, keep your eyes on our kids.
Yeah.
It's exactly what drove him to start Head Start, because he felt like we've got to create an even playing ground for children.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah. Well, thank you for leading for a long time. Hopefully we're making you proud.
Yes, absolutely.